After my treatment. One day. Not just, that's what I've been telling her. And she looks really young. She looks younger than she is. I don't think she's in the hospital. I don't see that first. She's not, but she's not. Thank you. Wanting to know. Let's stop this here. I think so. Yeah. Kids these days.
I will now call the March 3rd, 2025 Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting to order at 5:30 PM. Mrs. Kathy Gover, please call the roll.
Will do. Good evening and welcome to the March 3rd, 2025 Planning and Zoning Open Session Meeting. Commissioners, please state present if in attendance. Commissioner Morales,
Present.
Commissioner Walker,
Present.
Commissioner Jurasic,
Present.
Commissioner Rhodes,
Present.
Commissioner Carney, Commissioner Prager,
Present.
Vice Chair Smith,
Present.
Chair Krause.
Present.
For the record, our quorum is present with 8 commissioners in attendance. Thank you.
Commissioner Morales will now give the invocation and Commissioner Rhodes will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Join me, please. Gracious Heavenly Father, we come today to thank you for all our blessings. We ask that you bless our leaders and all those who are here tonight. As we discuss important matters, we ask for your guidance and your wisdom. And we ask that whatever we do is pleasing to you. In Jesus' name we give you. Amen.
Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Seated. We will now confirm the meeting agenda items. Are there any questions or comments? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Motion for approval.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Morales and a second by Commissioner Carney to approve the meeting agenda items. Kathy, may we have a vote?
Yes, Commissioner Morales.
Aye.
Commissioner Walker.
Aye.
Commissioner Jurassic.
Aye.
Commissioner Rhodes.
Aye.
Commissioner Carney.
Aye.
Commissioner Prager.
Aye.
Vice Chair Smith.
Aye.
Chair Krause.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous and the motion carries.
The meeting agenda items are approved by unanimous consent. Are there any public comments at this time? If so, please state your name, city of residence. For the record, limit comments to 3 minutes. We will have a timer on the screen for your reference.
Thank you, Chair Krause, and all of you. This is our first time. So my name is Ken Olexa. My wife and I have been homeowners at 15 Crocker Drive here in Temple since 2017. We are here to object part of the plan on Leon Reserve. We do not have issues with them developing and profiting from the new subdivision, but we do object at doing this at our expense. There's basically 4 homeowners that are affected by this sewer line project, part of their project, and we are one of them. There has not been any transparency in this process with us and with the neighbor next to us. We got an email in December of last year, a text actually saying that they're going to put a sewer line through in between our properties in the private easement that's owned by Memorial Baptist Church that's behind our house. And so there's a 10-foot easement and there's 15 feet between properties. So that's 10 feet that they they want us to convert to a public easement from a private sewer easement basically, they said they'll fix it, but we said, no, not at our expense, because they plan on shortening their lines when there is definitely another way for them to go to run their sewer lines instead of through in between our properties and 2 other homeowners' properties and through the church's back property, and then convert it all to public easement, which then means that anyone from the city or anyone that knows it's a public easement can traverse through in between our yard. And now I know I'm coming up to, this is a picture of can I give that to you? This is our 2 houses and the width of that showing how narrow that is that they plan on coming through there with a sewer pipe. But not only that, that means new manhole covers, new other things, and there's already a sewer pipe there, but it's too small. So they need to run a separate one. It shortens the distance for them, but it adds more money in their pocket, and it certainly affects us by destroying our property for the time being. Even though the easement is private and owned by the church, they still want us to say, sure, go ahead and do this. So it's causing a lot of undue stress and duress on my wife and I, and on the homeowners next door. And the other homeowners we haven't even just talked with, and I don't know what they have, but they have an outbuilding behind their house. And with that building is going to have to come down to be able to meet the needs of the developers. We were basically told by the person that contacted us that the general counsel wanted to talk to us so that he can explain easements to me. I didn't need that. I needed some communication beyond that saying, why now and why are you pushing this on us? So I wanted to have this on public record because it's definitely a benefit to them financially, but no benefit to us other than destroying our property, putting more manholes in and making it worse for us. My time is up. And so I just thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Alexa.
Cheryl, this is can you speak to this a little bit or is there any drawings or?
I
I can pull up the presentation that we have that, I'm sorry, I can pull up the presentation that we have that shows the proposed sewer alignment because it crosses the railroad and it ties into that subdivision that the gentleman just spoke about. But I know we also have representatives from WBW here and maybe they're familiar with the situation. They might be able to address the concerns as well. But yeah, if we could go ahead and pull that up.
Brian, I know this is not a public one, but I guess we need to discuss it a little bit, right?
We certainly can. What would be recommended is that we've got the WBW folks, because this is the Alta Vista neighborhood. Okay, and this is, I think this is the issue that Councilmember Long probably on your behalf asked, and so at that time, we tried to put, I guess, Yalgo Engineering with WB together with these folks to be able to explain, and Jason's got it up on the screen. But yes, this is, it's the extension of sewer to be able to serve Leon Reserve Phase 1. Jason's got it circled right there, Cheryl. That's the line, and that's the public easement shown on the plat to the left. So this was part of the plat, but ultimately, Kyle, do you have anything to clarify? Because we certainly want to make sure that they get some answers.
What was
Appreciate it.
Councilman Long's statement?
I think the neighbors were concerned because there was no notice. It looked like work was being done in the easement next to their house, and they didn't know what was going on.
Got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, ultimately, this isn't a plat issue. And so it's not going to be something you can really consider with the plat here. Because it is outside of the plat boundaries. It's something that does go along with the development, but it has to do with Public Works, and Public Works is aware of the issue. They are making sure that all city policies are followed. I have also spoken to the Alexas and have advised them best I can that they should hire their own private attorneys to let them know what, if any, rights they have beyond what we typically do when evaluating public works projects.
So there's nothing that we can vote on tonight, but I think, I'm sorry,
No, please go ahead.
I think as the developer and as the homeowner, somehow y'all need to get together out in the hallway or something to find out where the contacts are and what needs to be done. Again, what he's saying, there's nothing here tonight that we have a vote for. Councilman Long would be your first contact to go because she's an elected official. Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so I would suggest after when we move on to this next project, that maybe y'all could go into the hall, and I don't know if Kyle, you can go out there with them, but y'all need to speak and try to figure that out. And if it's still not satisfactory, please get with Councilman Long. Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you need to be heard, and I totally agree with that. So.
Yeah, and I agree. And that's
Councilwoman,
actually one of the reasons I told you to talk to private counsel, because yes, you're
I gotta get an attorney to pay for something that someone else is forcing on. That's what I feel.
I am just telling, that's my advice, because, their attorneys work for them. I work for the city, and it would be beneficial to have an attorney who works for you to advise you on the matter.
My city doesn't work.
The city, I work for the city as an entity. Yes.
Work for me.
Well, I work for you, but I also work for the developers. I have all of you, all of the citizens are my constituents. to a certain extent. So that's why I can't give you separate advice than I give every.
That nobody takes my yard out in a private easement because they think they can. That's the no. So I know enough about easements now to know that that's not right. And the easements. Sorry to take up your time.
Oh, you're-
Easements owned by the church. Owned by the church, and they think that they have the right to go through there as soon as they get signatures from the church, which means they have to buy it back from the church. Because it was sold to the church in 2011 for $1. And then they maintained it until the houses were built. Once my house was built, my neighbor's house, and I bought it, I became the owner of the land. They still own the rights to take care of the sewer and the easement. So I understand those laws, I understand the rules, but they, as a company, can't just come and take the easement. Their attorney said to my neighbor that they can come on there anytime they want.
What are the deacons or the pastor said from the church? Have
I
they?
talked to the trustee, the president of the trustees of the church. He said, nobody talked to me about an easement, but I'm sure they are now. Because they realized that they could not put their pipe through the manhole that's behind the fence in our yard, on the church property, and run it through that sewer line, because the sewer line is too small. So they need to run a parallel line or put a whole new line in and run that out to the street, which means more destruction of my property to put another manhole property, so it will drain properly. And it's really, there's other ways to go about this, but they don't want to do that. Probably no. You have to go a different route, down a different way into another easement and then out into the, but if there's 800 plus houses in our development and they all go into a sewer, and then they want to put 380 more houses into our sewer in front of our house. When right now, all we have is a church and they're on Sundays and Wednesdays and they put.
Plus a future elementary school, and there's a lot going to be going on. So, yeah.
8-inch pipe down.
Well, again, we can't vote on, I agree with you of what you did, putting it on record. But I do definitely encourage you to get back in touch with Councilman Long and the pastors and deacons at the church. And also the company, and they're here tonight. So I would, if y'all are here just for that, for these comments tonight, I would encourage y'all to hopefully go outside and talk civilly and see if y'all can figure out where the next steps are to go. Because I totally see your point, and trying to figure out and I get that you don't want to hire an attorney, but if y'all would do that, I think that would be good.
Historically, this started last. They found the manhole cover that's buried in front of our house, in front of our neighbor's house. And then it just, was hidden from there until December, and then shovel pipe.
Right. It's gone on too long, and I totally understand that, and definitely smart of you to get it on record. So if y'all will go outside and talk about that and go from the next step, hopefully. We wish you luck.
Mr. Alexa, thank you very much. I wish that, we could assist in some other way, but we can't.
These processes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be sure. That's all.
You said it. On the consent agenda is the approval of items 4 and 5. Item 4, FY 25 10 PLT, final plat of Leon Reserve Phase 1. Item 5 is our February 18th meeting minutes. If there are no objections, I will entertain a motion.
Second.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Carney and a second by Commissioner Smith to approve items 4 and 5 on the consent agenda. Kathy, may we have a vote?
Yes, Commissioner Morales, Commissioner Walker,
Aye.
Commissioner Jurassic,
Aye.
Commissioner Rhodes,
Aye.
Commissioner Carney, Commissioner Prager. Aye. Vice Chair Smith,
Aye.
Chair Krause.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous and the motion carries.
Meeting agenda items are approved by unanimous consent. We'll move on to item 6, FY 25 1 APL. discuss and recommend action on an appeal of standards, from the Unified Development Code, section 6.7.7.1, to allow an exception to the sign height maximum in the I-35 Gateway District overlay from 35 feet to 75 feet in height. The sign size maximum of 200 square feet to 279.22 square feet for the property addressed as 12731 Northeast HK Dodge and Loop. The case will be presented by Senior Planner Shelby Smith.
Thank you, Chair and members of the commission. So here we can see the property is in between Northeast HK Dodge and Loop and North General Bruce Drive, the service road to I-35. This distance here is the distance from the property here to the right-of-way of the North General Bruce Drive I-35 corridor. And also just noting, so this entire area here is actually the Bel Air commercial subdivision. So all of this is considered to be part of the I-35 Gateway subdistrict. So again, the property is located in the I-35 Gateway subdistrict. So you can see a bigger area of that here in this image here. And specifically, this section here, 6.7, is the boundary of the I-35 corridor district, corridor overlay, excuse me, and really just wanting to highlight letter B. Again, the property that we saw before was all part of a larger area of the Bel Air commercial subdivision, all within the I-35 corridor. Taking a look at the zoning, the property is zoned commercial. And then again, this kind of yellow brownish color is all of that Bel Air commercial subdivision here. And then to the east, we have light industrial conditional use permit zoning for an RV park. And then we have light industrial conditional use permit for a distribution center as well. So commercial and LI are the surrounding zoning districts. This is the definition of a pylon sign, which is the type of sign for the appeal request today. And then taking a look at the maximum height. So the maximum height is 35 feet for the I-35 corridor overlay, and the maximum sign area is 200 square feet. The screenshot below is showing the provisions of the pylon sign, which would go through permit review. The appeal is for a sign height of 75 feet and a sign area of 279.22 square feet. Again, just noting the maximum height is 35 feet and the maximum sign area is 200 square feet. So this is the site plan. So the site plan is not an approved site plan. It is a proposed layout and is being used to show the sign locations. So all of the different red colored dots here are different signs, like a menu board, welcome, entrance sign that would be proposed. In the southwest corner, that's the area of the location of the proposed pylon sign. This is the applicant's request of a 75-foot sign height and then a sign area of 279.22 square feet. And this is staff's recommendation of the 50-foot sign height, same sign area of 279.22 square feet. So the applicant did perform a flag test, just being able to do a balloon test to show the different heights between the 50-foot pylon sign and the visibility from the the I-35. And then the image below is the 75 feet height. So you can see both are visible. So the bottom is what the applicant's requesting and the top is what staff is recommending in terms of the height. Getting into site photos. So this is actually the site of McDonald's. It is currently under construction. And then it also is located near Starbucks and Burger King and Taco Bell. So this image here is from the parking lot of Starbucks, just showing the proposed or the location of McDonald's. You can see it is further set back than Starbucks and some of the other businesses along the direct frontage of I-35. To the north, we have the LICUP, conditional use permit zoning for the Baylor Scott and White Distribution Center. And to the east, we have a commercial zoning as well, which is for the Bel Air Junction RV Park. To the west, we have Starbucks, Taco Bell, and Burger King as well, which are also in the I-35 Gateway District. And just noting, these are closer along the frontage of I-35, unlike the McDonald's. And then to the south, we have Buc-ee's as well. So staff is recommending a pylon sign of 50 feet in height instead of the requested 75 feet, and supports the request for the 279.22 square feet for the sign area. Now I'll pause for questions, and Commissioner Alexis, or excuse me, Commissioner Prager, I know you had some questions about the sign height, so I could show that too if you, okay. 1 second.
Also, have the
Oh,
other two lots next to where McDonald's is, look like two open lots, have those been sold to anybody yet?
I'm not sure if they've been sold yet, but are you talking about maybe these two lots
Correct.
here or these? I'm not sure.
These two up front.
Okay, these two here.
Right.
This one and this one. I'm not sure if they've been sold, but they haven't been developed yet.
Okay.
According to the maps most recently.
Shelby, what is the sign height for Starbucks and Burger King? Do you know that?
Yes, so let me show that here. Okay, here we go. So this is the 45 feet sign height for Burger King. Taco Bell has a 35 feet sign height, and then Starbucks has a 45 feet sign height. And then Buc-ee's has a 100-foot sign line. So that one is associated with the plan
Did they
development,
come
different
for, did
circumstances.
Starbucks and Burger King come for exceptions back then?
Down.
No, they didn't. And so, yeah, those,
No.
I mean, those probably slipped through. I mean, honestly,
Those get up there above 35 feet.
yeah.
Bucky's at 100.
Well, that's normal.
If they got approved, or, at plan review, or if, they don't, yeah, inspectors are not, they're not inspecting for height, they're inspecting for
Correct.
electrical,
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's one of those things that, we've filling in holes in the development process that wouldn't happen today, but happened then.
Shelby, let me ask, the McDonald's on 35,
Mhm.
My target.
at the loop by Target, how tall is that sign? Does anybody know?
The one on the loop, yeah, that one predates the overlay, so not sure, but the one at Adams, that also predates the overlay. So, right, behind, what is that, Encore? Or
Right, how tall is that sign?
and that one
Oh, it
was,
predates.
that was an appeal. So when they redid that McDonald's in 2014 or whenever, they wanted to keep that sign, even, understandably, because I think it's 90 feet tall. And so they redid the McDonald's, and it looks great. Everything else meets the overlay. But that was a concession that, council said, sure, you keep your existing sign.
Yeah, and
The overlay district's only what, like 10 years old?
Yeah, it's more
bit longer than
like
that.
15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was amended back in 2018, some of the
And it
sign
was-
standards, but
it was Johnson Brother and Don Ringler days, I think, was kind of I was on the council, on the board then.
yeah, there used to be a lot of appeals.
Yeah.
And honestly, those 45-foot signs should have been appeals, but apparently they got approved.
And Buc-ee's, that was probably part of that package, or that whole thing that we did for
Buc-ee's is a
Buc-ee's.
complete anomaly. That
Yeah.
was a plan development, predates me by about 6 months. And, that was a big, that economic development
I was on economic
agreement.
development board then, and that was all
Yeah,
part of that.
exactly. And so they basically, the plan development gave them an exception already and didn't say what. It was kind of like a
Correct.
blank check. It just, hey, no rules apply to you.
We were slobbering, so, hey, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind saying that on record. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the brisket sandwiches are pretty good.
Do we have a picture of the flag test from this point of view?
I believe there
We
was in
do.
the packet.
Yeah, that's correct. So in the staff report attachments, it's included in the staff report. But in terms of the presentation, I just have this one here. And then Oh, let me go back here.
it was rare, it was somewhat visible at the 50 feet, but far more visible at 75, but I think 50 feet's very reasonable.
Or say, what does the crane guy think?
Considering the, the other signs up front are at 35 and 2 at 45, I think the 50 is very reasonable, to be honest.
And I'll say one thing I've wanted to note. So with our regular sign height, or excuse me, regular sign standards, if this weren't in the I-35 corridor overlay, the maximum sign height would be 50 feet. So just wanted to note that too.
Well, and the reason I asked you about those other two lots, if they had sold yet,
Mhm.
is we're opening up a can of worms when we start going down that road.
Yeah, but I think.
You can't, but they're gonna ask. I mean, when
Sure,
that time
and
comes.
from a staff perspective, this one, that they would, we would recommend an exception there too, because they also would need to have, somewhat level footing with McDonald's in terms of visibility. And that's something we'll look at with the UDC update too, just to say, this is a fairly unique circumstance when you've got basically all these lots are pad sites, unlike Bird Creek Crossing where you've got pad sites and then you've got the, big box retail behind it, so yeah, I mean, the big box versus, hey, with these smaller businesses that are all kind of competing for the same customers.
Right.
And having some level of visibility. I mean, that's in the purpose statement for signage. We also looked at the square footage and thought, we did the math. Okay, if we're going to allow 50 feet, what's proportional for the square footage? And I think the math is 280. And so they came, so 279.2. Hey,
We're there.
proportional. And I think that you look at the sign and it looks to us, it looks like it works 50 feet with that.
Because
square
as
footage.
McDonald's always says, they're in the real estate business, not the food business. So they want the
Yeah,
tallest sign that they can get. That's
Sure.
gonna be normal.
And it would look weird if their sign towers over the other three.
yeah, true.
I'm good with it.
Yeah. I'm good.
When would we say no? Like, when would we enforce? Like, no, the rule's 35, it's 35.
It was that was asking.
Well, I think that got messed up at 45 feet with Starbucks.
Yeah, like, are we just changing the
I
rule
mean,
to
yeah.
50, basically?
Quite frankly, it doesn't matter, it's gonna go to city council.
Sure.
Yeah, so
That's true. Okay, if there are no objections, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve FY 25-1 APL as recommended by staff at 50 feet.
Second.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Rhodes and a second by Commissioner Carney to recommend approval of item 6 FY 25-1 APL to City Council for staff recommendation. Kathy, may we have a vote?
Yes, Commissioner Morales,
Aye.
Commissioner Walker,
Aye.
Commissioner Drossik,
Aye.
Commissioner Rhodes,
Aye.
Commissioner Carney, Commissioner Prager.
Aye.
Vice Chair Smith,
Aye.
Chair Krause.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous and the motion carries.
Is there any further business? If not, the meeting is closed at 5:59 PM.
Figure out a different.